All right, people. This is going to be a special episode, and we're going to do a couples retreat of season two recap. Me and Ish.
Yeah.
So on couples retreat, it's basically like a reality show where it's like five couples, five different couples. Most of the time, they don't all know each other, but it's like five celebrity couples that go on this retreat, and they stay like in a what is that shit called, like a vacation spot.
Mhm.
They stay in like a vacation spot where it's just them, and they have to work through their problems if they're married, if they want to get married, if they're trying to figure out if they're a couple, whatever their issues are, they work together to see, you know, how they can get past their issues. But Ish,
Yo,
this is season two. You said you didn't watch season one.
did not.
So as an overall show, what do you think about the show? The
Mhm.
premise of the show. What are your thoughts on the show
Mhm.
Couples Retreat?
Yeah, so I really did enjoy it. Like not having watched season one, I didn't really know what to expect. Like I didn't really know what I was coming into. Obviously, there are a lot of the relationship shows where they're trying to mend or heal or work through issues, etc. But I just didn't really know what to expect, and it's always more fun when you kind of know
Right.
the couples that are going to be on there, like have followed them or really like them. So I was really amped up about this because there were a lot of people on here that I really liked. The premise of the show was great. Obviously, I really liked AJ and John Sally doing the mentoring and the therapy work throughs and all of that stuff. I really enjoyed them, and there was some shit going on in
Right.
this season, and it really made me be like, wow, like stepping into other couples issues and problems and really seeing how they are pulling it apart or not pulling it apart, you know what I mean? So it was really interesting to watch this season. I was excited about it.
Okay, and the reason why I really love these kind of shows is because it's like you get to see like a mirror of people. So it's like you can even see celebrities, and you might think that, well, she's beautiful. Why is she single? Or you might see a guy and like he looks like a cool dude, or it could be like a rapper. I like his music, but then you get to see their personality on
Hmm.
these shows, and that's the shit that I love about
Yeah, for
it. That's
sure, for
love it.
sure, for
So
sure.
we're gonna start with the first couple, and the first couple is comedian Michael Blackson and his girlfriend Rada.
Yes, yes, yes. From
I'm giving you that once a month freedom. Just follow the rules. I know people know what we do, but you can do it discreetly. You don't have to show their face. You're just doing too much.
All
really
right,
Michael Blackson.
let's get into it. This all
Oh,
started from they've been in a relationship for a couple years now, I would say, and Michael Blackson has this thing where he gets to get one side bitch per month as long as he doesn't, take them out to breakfast, as long as he's not whining and dining them, she permits him to have one side bitch per month. And she also is in on the fun with threesomes with him. And she also likes to watch him fuck other girls.
mm-hmm.
Each,
Yo,
what are your thoughts on their issue?
right.
And take a step on both sides of the fence. Tell me your thoughts on what's going on in this relationship.
Okay, okay. So it was fun to learn that this actually they were on season one. That was
Right.
fun for me to learn that they were on season one and now they're hosting season two. But they actually had the same underlying problem in season one that they did in season two, which was interesting to me that they still haven't worked through this yet. Like, what the fuck is the problem? Y'all need to come to some sort of something, please.
Right.
Um, but I feel like let me take the Rada's um, point of view first. Okay, so obviously she's into some freak shit, right? She
Right.
likes some shit. She likes to, indulge in threesomes every now and again, or watch him have sex with other women. That tickles her fancy, right? You know, she even allows him to continue on with some of his past behaviors if it's tamed, meaning that he can have 12 side hoes or side bitches a year, right? That would seem to be, you know, fair and compromising for, you know, somebody that you love, especially when you like to indulge in the fuckery every now and again. I think Rada's problem is that, you know, in the beginning, it's all shits and giggles and it's all fun and all of that good stuff. But then you're trying to intermingle a serious, committed relationship, engagement, eventually marriage. And then it gets sticky because then that's when the boundaries are going to come in, right? And it's going to be like, oh, wait. I'm gonna start putting stipulations on shit. No, you can't take her out to breakfast. No, you can't take pictures with her. And just like he said, well, what is we supposed to just stay in the room?
Right.
And she like, yeah, what you mean? You're not supposed to hit it and quit it, you know? And
I don't have a problem with that though, Ish. I don't have a problem.
Like to hit it and quit it.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with those stipulations if you're
Right.
going to allow me to have others, and you're also going to partake in threesomes. Then fuck that. Bring all those stipulations.
Right. But he obviously feels like he's still trying to be controlled in a sense, and so there he's you know, therefore he's given that resistance. You know what I mean? And so she's torn because it's like, does he really love me? I mean, does he really? Is he just going to conform to these stipulations that I'm laying upon him, or is he going to? Because she mentioned like, I wanted to go through his text to see, is he talking about me to other women and things like that. You know, she still has some insecurities in this, what you would think to be open, secure situation, and it's really not. And from his standpoint, you know, as a man, you would think that he would just be happy, like you said, to be given the option to do that, indulge in threesomes, have this open situation. But I think for him, it's more or less he wants to be in control of everything, and giving her a bit of control could possibly be a deal breaker for him.
But I'm gonna say it's not just that he wants to be in control. I think he doesn't want any boundaries. I think he doesn't want any stipulations or any boundaries. And like, so people have to, you know, realize that Rada was in a she said she just got out of like a 16-year marriage. So when they first got together, this was only supposed to be, you know, a quick fun thing. You know, they was just supposed to be smashing. But then, you know, as shit happens, as shit always happens, somebody or they caught feelings, and now she wants a serious relationship, and she wants this to lead to marriage.
Right.
But I'm kind of confused on. So are threesomes still going to be allowed in marriage?
I say that again.
I said, is she still going to be with the threesomes if they get married?
She should be. I mean, that is something obviously that you into, sis. So I don't think it shouldn't stop when you get married. Like, y'all should just keep that rolling. Like, that seemed like that would be fun and keeping it hot and sexy. So why not? But you know, maybe just maybe, and you know, we'll probably get into this a little bit more with one of the other couples. Like, maybe just maybe that might not be such a good idea. It just really all depends how their relationship and their marriage, you know what I mean, moves.
All right, so before we go to the next couple, I want to ask you, if you're a rider, do you stay?
I feel like no. Let me tell you why. Because it's always going to be a constant problem. If you're feeling this way now, sis, like this is always going to be an underlying issue. If you haven't gotten past it, or haven't not gotten past it, but if you haven't like come to terms that this is who he is, I'm going to love him for him, and I'm going to take it for what it's for, and I'm going to deal with whatever may come, you know, because I want to marry him that much, then it ain't never going to be that. Like, if we 2 years, 3 years still talking about the same thing and it's still becoming an issue every single day,
right?
Just go, sis. Just go.
All right, I'm gonna say if I was Ryder, I think Ryder should leave because, as he said, I'm not I'm not going to change at all. Like I don't care however long. I'm never changing. That's what he basically said. I'm never changing, even though he's allowed all these allowances. He said, "I'm still never changing. I'm gonna do whatever fuck I want to do, whatever I want to do it, and you just
Exactly.
take this shit."
Right. And he laying it out for you. He's
Right,
laying it out for you.
right,
So at that point in time, when he gives you that bit of information and he says that right then and there, you know in your mind what it's gonna be, sis. Like this prolonging it is not good. You
right.
gotta come to grips with it. You have to.
All right, so
So
we're gonna get into the next couple, and this is Ronnie and Shimari. So this is Ronnie from New Edition, BBD, um, all of that.
yeah, yeah.
Shamari was a background singer, but she's now his wife. They had two twins. I don't know if they have more kids, but I know they have two 4-year-old twins. So, what was your take on what was going on in this relationship, Aisha?
How did you not?
Hello, hello, hello. What the hell is going on? Huh? Why are you paying attention over there? Huh? Have you had too much?
Yeah, so with them being married so long, it was
Don't sound
fun to
like no
see how,
marriage ambassador.
how their communication was pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? They seem to still be like really in love with each other. They seem to communicate very well. Ron was very soft with her and his approach, even when he was upset at her, which I found to be like pretty decent. But I do feel like, as we spoke about with Michael and Rada, like I do feel like their main issue was trust, and getting past their old issue with having an open marriage and a threesome, and it morphed off into that relationship. Shamari having that relationship with another woman. I feel like that still is a knot,
Right,
no matter how cool and fun and sexy and flirty their marriage seems to be, there's still that knot in the pit of Ronnie's stomach. And how does it go away?
right.
How does it go away?
So this all boiled over when Shamari was drunk and she was talking about slapping everybody, all the girls' asses, and how all the girls was looking all good, and she wanted a piece of that, and this and that. So it triggered Ronnie, all these things that she was doing at this dinner where they had on lingerie. Ronnie got triggered, and he snapped out and walked out. But the part that I was confused on this instance, Ish, was Ronnie was drunk too.
Yeah, he was. He was. But I'm
Right.
telling you, he got sober real fucking quick. Because let me tell you, she was at Jess and Daniel's table,
Right.
and Ronnie neck,
Right.
he got sober real quick because that shit hit him right in the pit of his stomach again.
So their issue was her drinking, and also they said that the twins still sleep with them. The 4-year-old twins still sleep with them. So what do you do in that situation? Are you allowing your 4-year-old twins to still sleep in the bed with you every night?
I mean, I understand being a mother. I understand there are some things that your children go through when they are coming of age. You know what I mean? That they need. They need
But
some
wait
sort
a
of.
wait a minute, Ish. So you're telling me that you're married and you and your husband are going to sleep with your 4-year-old twins every night?
Wait, let me finish. Wait. No, I do. I totally agree. I understand. Like, I want to be cognizant of the fact that, as a mother, as parents, you have to, pay attention to your child's needs, right? But I was going to say, at 4 years old, absolutely not. There is no need for them to be in the bed with you, sleeping with you. No, now, if you got to do whatever you need to do to get them to sleep in their room and get them to sleep, and then y'all have your own space in adult time. Like, you guys need that
Right.
as not even married couples,
Yeah,
couples
just
who are in relationships as
couple
well.
period. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So also I seen when they both was drunk and they both was arguing. It's one thing when we're joking and you throw the ET joke, and it's another thing when we're in a heated argument and you throw the "I look like ET" joke.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Yeah, you a little problematic, sis. When you
right.
start drinking, you loose with the lips, and then you talk about she got so loose with everything, and I can see where he was concerned, and like other people on the show made mention of it too, just like the alcoholic behaviors and stuff like that. But I'm surprised Ronnie didn't like snap out. That's why I say he's very soft with his approach with her. Even when he's angry, it doesn't seem like he flips the lid. Because that ET reference,
That's what I'm saying. I would have been, I would have been, I would have been
like,
okay.
who the fuck is you talking? I know you're not talking shit. Like, it just would have like bubbled over so much more than that. He's so cool and collected all the time, even when
But
he's
it's
mad.
obviously, obvious that they both love each other,
Yeah.
and that they're both committed to each other, and
Mhm.
that they just have to work on, that drinking issue, which is, I think that drinking issue stems from her not being able to, sing and go on the road and do her own thing. So now she's just at home with the kids. So
Mhm.
these are things that you have to find a balance in your relationship when one party is working and now you have to derail your dream to, play your role in the family. So
Yeah.
once again, Ish, before we go to the next couple, if you're Shamari, how do you handle this issue?
I really take heed, especially when, they discussed how he's loving her under conditions, right? He said he doesn't have that unconditional love at this point in time because he's still fearful. You know what I mean? So I think if I was her, you know what I mean, I would scale back on the drinking, reinforce to him that, hey, listen, I know sometimes, you might.
But wait a minute, Ish. I also want to say, because we didn't say this yet, I also want to say that they had an open marriage and she chose to continue on with the relationship with the female because he's always on the road. And that's
Right.
a thing that he has to understand, that when he's not home, she's not feeling the love, she's not feeling the attention. That's another part of it that I think that he has to see as well.
Right, absolutely. I do agree with you there. And I just feel like, for her, it's something that she has to work on mending and building up his security again, it- making sure that he's in a comfortable place where he doesn't feel like every remark she makes or, her admiring the beauty of another woman,
Right,
will make him feel cringy on the inside. You know what I mean? And if alcohol is an issue, then she gotta curb that shit. Like
right.
get it together a little bit. Maybe you just had some wine or something. Like, don't get all kind of crazy because once you start drinking and shit, sis, that's when the fucking truth is really going to come out, and that's what he's concerned about because he said that.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So she gonna have to work a little hard. But then, like you said, Ronnie is going to have to do his part as well in making sure that she's getting what she needs while he's always on the go. Because New Edition still pops.
Right. They still on tour. They still on
They
tour.
still pops, and it's probably back to back to back to back shows. And she is probably alone a lot with the kids, maybe with family around or girlfriends or whatever. But sometimes that's just not sufficient. It's not an excuse, but it's not sufficient. So
All right. So before we go to the next couple, I want to ask you: do you give people an excuse when they say something when they're drunk? Because they say that a drunk mind speaks sober thoughts. So, do you excuse things that people say when they're drunk, or high? Either or.
it really all depends on what is being said. And I know that's like kind of crazy because it should be across the board. But I do feel like depending on what is said, because some shit is truth that you may need to hear no matter how much it fucking hurts. Like you may just need to hear that shit. So, if it's something like that. But if it's just malicious, like shit that you saying out your mouth to be vindictive or to be hurtful, then no, I'm not forgiving that shit. Fuck you was drinking. Fuck that shit. Like, no. I mean, what you think? What you say?
I'm gonna say that I take heed and I take notes
Mhm.
Take
Mhm.
heed and I take notes of all the disrespectful shit you say whenever you drunk or you high, because I feel like that's how you really feel. And these are things
Mhm.
that you don't say because you just might not, want to start no shit or say it when you sober. But I feel like certain things that you say when you drunk or you high, that's some shit that you really feel.
You really fucking feel it. You absolutely right. I agree. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
I don't like that shit because it let me tell you, and not to go too deep into this topic because this could be a good topic too,
Right.
but I feel like it's going to forever replay.
Right.
Like you said, you take mental notes and you thinking about it, but you're gonna be thinking about it like you said that this
Right.
is how you really fucking feel about me. So how you sitting here, you
Right.
know what I mean? Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I don't like that shit. All right, Ish,
Mm-mm.
what next couple? Where you want to go next?
Why don't we hit Jess and Daniel? Like
Oh, the shit
they,
starters.
yeah, the shit. Like they was like my favorite.
This is just hilarious. The comedian from Instagram, Wilding Out, all of these things, just hilarious. And this is who was her supposed to be. I'm gonna say supposed to be boyfriend, Daniel. All right, so tell the people what was going on with Jess and Daniel. Ish.
So they were only dating 8 months at the taping of the show. And basically I guess her main concern was his lack of affection. She mentioned something about like how it took him like 2 weeks or so to even kiss her. Like, it was lack of affection, I think was one of her main gripes. But then throughout the show, he started like exhibiting other like bullshit tendencies, like
Right.
just bringing up the fact that they haven't been together for so long, that they weren't in a place of love, and that they weren't in the longevity space that the other couples were in, or to the point of marriage or even a committed relationship. So like he kind of made it so obvious to the point where it was like embarrassing to her at times, and it's just like, yo, dude, what the fuck? Like, why do you have to keep pointing this shit out? And I felt really bad for Jess.
Right.
And she ain't snapped. She snapped on him, but she ain't snapped like she could have snapped, because I'd have been cussing him the fuck
We
out.
like each other a lot, but we're not in love.
Why am I here? This was like, I don't love her yet. It's not even about him saying he doesn't love me. It's the fact that he has to say it in front of everybody. Like, you have to make it known. Like, all right, mother.
All right, so I have these points with Daniel, right? Yeah, I have certain points with Daniel because Daniel was one of those. What do you call them? What do you call them, Ish?
Fuck boy.
Right.
Fuck boy.
Daniel was what you call a fuck boy. So Daniel from the gate was like, "Wait a minute, y'all asking about love languages and y'all asking about this and that." And he's like, "We're not there yet. I don't love her." Like, and he's saying all of this shit in front of everybody, and he's not. I'm the first person to be like, don't coddle, and say whatever you want to say. But this nigga,
Yeah.
this nigga was going off the cliff with it, like.
Yeah. Out of pocket.
He was harsh with his whole delivery about how they're not there yet, and he was basically saying we're just fucking. That's what he basically said.
In a nutshell.
And that's what he basically said.
Yeah.
So
And it was crazy.
I felt bad for Jess because she obviously was pushing for something more, and she was also saying how he never supports her. He doesn't come to any of her comedy shows. And she's trying, and also with him, he said he had an issue with his mother.
Right.
See, sir, these things, I don't excuse all these things when you like 40, 50 years old
I
to
know.
use as
I
an
know.
excuse. I don't
I
excuse
know.
these things.
I
Like,
know. Mommy issues.
right.
Topic, bing, 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 bing. Mommy issues. Like, I felt like it was a great moment that he was transparent, and it obviously was something that she didn't make the connection. Maybe they had conversations, like maybe this might have come up a tad bit, but it really didn't get as deep as it got when he was speaking with, first of all, wait. We got into this. What the fuck was up with the zebras? I couldn't take it. Like, fuck all the other shit. See? Fuck all the other shit. I had to do like some investigation. Like I went on his page and shit. I guess it's like some sort of line. He loves zebra. Okay, that was sidebar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not with it. I'm not with
sorry. I'm sorry. I just thought about it.
Basically, what Isha's talking about is that Daniel was dressing crazy with all kinds of zebra print, like
Turtlenecks. You want the yeah.
the whole season. So
Oh,
what he was saying was, he's never felt love. He doesn't know
mm,
how to give love, and he doesn't know the overall, how
right,
love works. So that's
yeah,
why he's saying, I don't know how to show you more, Jess, or I don't know how
yeah,
to commit to you because I was never loved. That's what he was
right.
saying.
Yeah, his mom had AIDS.
But he's older than her, so as an old ass man, it's like, come on, dog. At some
Right,
point, you gotta get it together. Even if the right woman shows you or teaches you how to love, you gotta,
mhm,
be open to that and find
right,
in some kind of way because you're just
right.
too good for that shit. You just
Yeah, and
shit.
absolutely. And if you've heard this complaint from her more than once, maybe not even on just on the show, I'm sure it was brought up a little bit prior to the show, then why not divulge to her some of that information as to why, just why. So she don't have to go on thinking if it's fucking her. Like, you know what I mean? If it's her that is the problem as to why you don't want to be affectionate. You know what I mean? That's
So,
difficult on a
all right, so,
person's psyche.
so these were my points with Daniel. At the first initial dinner, they were talking about threesomes, and he was like, "I had a threesome with two of the baddest bitches I ever seen in my life, so I would never even care about having a threesome with just like she's like
Right.
nothing." Like,
Nothing's going to top that.
yeah. So that's what he said. And then on the boat, when they were on the boat with Claudia, and he said, "Yo, you know what? I thought you was cool, KJ,
Yeah.
but basically you're like a bitch ass nigga." And
I
KJ
couldn't believe
said
it.
nothing. Like KJ, first of all, how's KJ not responding to this?
I'm like, what is happening, sir?
Right.
What? What? He would have been overboard.
He basically called the boy a bitch ass nigga. And
Yeah.
said, he was pillow talking with Claudia and they need to mind their business. So but he basically was telling everybody on the show that they need to mind their business also. So
Yeah.
he wasn't sparing anybody. He didn't spare anybody.
He sure did not.
He was yelling it out to everybody.
Hmm. Hmm.
So once again, Ish, if you're just hilarious, what do you do?
Exactly what she did. Exactly what she did at the end. Listen, we could just be friends.
Right.
I'm not even going to move forward with you on this. You have given me all of those. What do they call? See,
Red flag.
red flags
Red flags.
early. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? You have shown me exactly what's what. And then you kind of shown me like what I'm not worth to you in a
Right.
sense.
Right.
So no, we're gonna just be friends. We're gonna keep it pushing. So just did good. She made a good decision.
Okay, so can you tell the people before we go to the next couple, after Jess explains to him how they can be just friends, what did he do at the table to let the rest of the people know what was
He just could not shut the fuck up. Okay. He stands up to make this grandiose announcement
Hmm.
about how Jess has made the decision in their session
All right.
to be just friends.
But he
And it was
ba- but he basically made it a point to say to try to make it look like I am the one who decided that we shouldn't even, pursue this like that. We should.
right.
That's what it.
Yeah, he did. He did put a spin on it like that. And my thing is, why did anybody have like that? Just would have been something that would have been learned or
Right. It
discussed.
wasn't
Jess
justified.
would have discussed it. Like, why did you have to make an announcement? But he seemed to like have something similar to needing to be. I can't think of it. Maybe you'll understand what I'm trying to.
The center of attention, maybe.
Yes, like an attention whore. That was it. It almost exactly like, and for you to stand up and do that, like there was just another thing, and just probably was like, see, Nigga, this is exactly why.
Yeah.
I ain't moving on with you.
Yeah, he was definitely the worst guy on the show. He was definitely
Yes.
the worst guy on the show.
Yes.
All right,
He had my mouth like this almost every show. He was doing some shit almost every show.
Yes. The next couple is going to be Nick Young, NBA basketball player Nick Young, and his girlfriend Kiana.
Yes. Yes.
They have a couple kids, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Their issue was Nick is newly retired from the NBA, and he's like a lost little puppy. He doesn't really know how to act. He doesn't know how life is supposed to, move without him being in the NBA. And she's trying to go to school, to find her own identity.
Around the house, and now it's like I got to do everything.
As I'm sitting here listening to him talk about how I'm going to school and how his needs need to be satisfied in more ways than one, it really bothers me because he just really doesn't understand that I have needs too. I just don't know where the support is. And I don't know if he'll ever get it. At this point, I'm just kind of fed up. There's no getting through to him. He's like, know your place as a woman. Like it's a man's job to take care of things. Let me do that.
It's hard for me making breakfast. I don't do all that. That sounds hard for me getting kids up every morning.
So what are your thoughts on what's going on with Nick Young and Kiana?
Oh, they got a lot of little
right. It's a lot of
issues is building up. If you notice too, another one of her things is getting over the whole Iggy Azalea thing, him having a baby and being engaged to her as well, and then kind of coming back to Kiana. She said that she faced a lot of online ridicule because he is famous and because Iggy was famous. And, people just kind of belittling her, saying, oh, you left Iggy to go back to that. So she's dealing with a lot of trust, insecurity, personal shit. And so I think too, that's probably why she's trying to go back to school to, rebuild her self-esteem, you know what I mean? And try to, juggle being his fiance, because they're engaged, right? Are they engaged or are they just girlfriend?
I think they're engaged. I think they're either engaged or they might be married already. Yeah, no, he said fiance. That's right. He said fiance. That's his fiance.
Yeah, fiance. Okay, so she's having to deal with a lot, and he was very
childish,
not the most outwardly communicative.
Childish. I would use childish because he said, you expect me to get up and get the kids up and get them ready for school every day? They're your kids too, nigga. Fuck?
Why wouldn't you? You ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
But not to say that, because I know he's taking it hard that he's not playing in the NBA, so that's not fair of me to say. However, you're not doing shit.
Right.
How about?
Right. But also, they your kids too.
Yes.
He ain't gonna his kids. Right. So, I do want to point out one thing that he did say that I'll stand on his side with.
Mm-hmm.
He said that she's been so focused on school that she didn't sleep with him in a couple days. She didn't come to bed and sleep with him in a couple days. So that might be a little bit come on, sis.
Yeah, come on, sis.
1 or 2 days, maybe you fell asleep on the couch. All right.
Yeah, but you notice she did say that I will say she's very childish in that sense too, because she says that she withholds sex from him often.
Right.
And I think even there was this a point in time where all the girls were in the pool, their feet were in the pool, and they were like, well, sis, you gotta get your shit off too. What you mean? And she we just not in that space at times. And so I think that is childish because everybody has needs that have to be met. And if you're in a monogamous committed relationship, you got to make sure that the needs of your partner is met in some way, shape, or form. And so I think that was childish of her too.
So Nick also, whenever they got into an argument or whenever she wanted to talk about, certain serious things, he would just get up and walk away, or he would just shut down. And I can I can see that because I used to be that. Like I used to do that in my younger years. I used to do that too. But at some point, you gotta grow up out of that, or it might just take something. Like even the thing that happened with his dad, like his dad being sick, that little thing could push him to learn that he has to start taking this a little bit more serious, and that he can't just walk away, when she's trying to talk to him, or whenever there's a disconnect. You gotta like sit in it and figure that shit out.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if it's important enough to you,
Right.
right? Because it's easy to not care if it's not something that you really give a fuck about. But it's obvious that they really care for each other. They've been high school sweethearts, like so. He's got to learn how to just be a little more transparent, open up a little bit more, address her feelings head on, like you said, sit in it a little bit, figure it out, see how y'all can come to a happy medium on a lot of the shit. You know what I mean?
And I mean, if all else fails, Nick, go play in the big three. Like, go,
Exactly.
go play in the
And
big three, man. You're not in
right,
it.
and he had that whole breakdown, and I can't imagine, especially somebody who has a passion for something like it's obvious that he does. You know what I mean?
Oh,
He
oh,
has that.
I know what it is because I love basketball just like him, and I wasn't in the NBA, so I know it's heartbreaking.
Right,
But Nick,
right.
go play in the big three, man. You
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
You'll be
yeah,
all right. You still rich. You'll be all right. You could go play in the big three, so that way you'll
yeah.
still be playing basketball and you'll still have some time to spend with your family. But
Right.
also support the girl and watch your kids, man. They your
That's
kids.
what I was getting ready
They
to
your
say.
kids, man.
Yes, and I was getting ready to say, like, do you feel like before we move on, do you feel like um he's a little afraid for her to get her own identity?
That she'll
Like, you know
leave.
how some men want
Right.
to keep their women
Right.
conform to a certain,
Right.
dimension.
Because she did say that he said to her, stay in a woman's place, and you know your role.
Know your role. Like, I want you home, taking care of the kids, cooking and cleaning, and
But these roles are no longer, and that's what
right,
some people have to
right,
get past. those roles are no
right.
longer. You might be
Yeah.
able to find that, somewhere, but for the most
Hmm.
part, those roles are no longer.
Yeah, Nick, and you got to give her something. You took, and took. Like, it's so much that she's dealt with. Give her something for herself. It'll make her a better woman. It'll make you a happier man.
Right. All
You
right.
know.
What's the next couple that you want to
Let's tackle. Let's tackle Claudia and KJ.
do? Claudia, Jordan, and KJ.
KJ.
This was a fun couple to me. This is a fun couple to poke at for me. So you
Yes.
can tell the people what was going on with them and what's their issue.
So they have been together, I think, for about 3 years. I think they said, and basically, with Claudia being a social media influencer, radio personality, or I think that she has like a morning show or something that she does. She was on one of the Housewives shows, I believe. She's always pretty much in the spotlight. Social media
Right.
is her playground, is how she makes her money. So I think they had some issues where he felt like he wasn't getting enough of her attention. Due to that, that was some of the complaints, and it led to lack of things going on in the bedroom,
Right.
lack of desire and stuff like that. Also, I know that Claudia wants children and she wants to get married, and KJ is like, whoa,
Right. So,
they're not on the same page as far as the timeline is concerned. She wants it. She's older, right?
right.
So she wants it like let's go. Like, you should know we've been together 3 years. You should know if you want to have babies with me. You should know if you want to put a ring on my finger.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair
Right.
when women do that. When they try to rush the timeline, I don't think that's fair.
Right. Well, it's because she knocking on 50. And so, she doesn't have much time to waste.
Right.
So it's like the pressure is on, like, dude, you should know. And he's just like, well, whoa, wait a minute. Like,
All right.
give me some time.
So can you tell the people the biggest moment that happened with these two when they were sitting on the couch with
We're attracted
AJ.
to each other sexually.
Yeah, but our sex.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Are you attracted to her sexually?
No,
Ooh, that hurt me.
I was. Not now.
What
Talking to
did
AJ.
KJ say?
I felt that shit in my chest. Like I felt that shit in my chest. He basically just AJ asked the question: are you sexually attracted to her or physically attracted to Claudia?
Right.
And he said no.
Right.
And wow.
Right. Right.
I see. This is why I can't be on shows like this because I'm like it just would have was so left, and
But
she cried.
wait a minute though. How can you even? I can't even move forward with you after you said that. Like
Exactly, I agree.
I can't move forward with you after you said that.
Like you're not in a place with me where I am attractive to you, or you're not physically attracted to me.
Because
That's a major
Because
component.
if I'm not sexually and physically attracted to you, I don't want to be with you. Like I don't want to be
Right.
around you. I don't want to be with you. Like
I don't need no best friends.
right.
Like like
That's what they
I
basically.
got enough of them. Like you know what I mean. So I felt like it was such a jab. I don't know how she recovered from that. Like to even go on with the rest of the show, honestly, because I'd have just been so sunken. And I just was like, you like we ain't doing this shit every game or every little thing we would have had to did. I just would have been like, "Ooh, fuck out here." I just wouldn't have had no interest any longer. So
Yeah.
I don't know how she did.
So it basically seemed to me that they were more like best friends, but she wants somebody to get married to, and he just happens to be the one that's in the position to marry her. Like
Right.
be in her circumference. So it's
Right.
like he don't even really like you like that. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it just seemed more convenient. And yeah, it might flow good and it might be good because the vibes are always good, the chemistry, obviously, as far as certain things
how
are
good is
good.
the chemistry if I'm not
This is true. This is true. So what are they really hanging their hat on?
yeah, I
You
can't.
know what I mean? Really, what are they hanging their hat on? And then not only that, like the discussions, like, I think there was a point in time where he was standing with the guys and she overheard him talking about, she want a ring and it's then the third. Like,
Right.
it's just little things like that sticks out. And it's just like, sis, like, he might not necessarily give you what you need when you need it or when you want it. So what do you want to do?
So she basically gave him an ultimatum saying that he needs to propose to her before the end of the year is up. So if
You
you're
push a man's hand, he's gone.
look, if you're Claudia, do you wait on that ring?
That's a difficult one because not difficult because I feel like it's 3 years. So it's like, oh, I really like this guy. Really, and for her,
Right.
I really like him. Like I'm really into him. He would be perfect, as a husband, as a father, all that stuff. So I might wait it out a little bit longer. I might just wait it out a little bit longer.
Are you giving the ultimatum or are you keeping the clock in your own head?
I'm keeping the clock in my own head. Should never give people ultimatums. I don't feel like you should. Like that's putting unnecessary pressure on a person. I just don't think it's fair.
Right.
The ultimatum thing. But I would keep a clock in my mind, like, okay. 2 more months done went by, still ain't got no ring, but okay. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. If you was KJ and you were given that ultimatum, what would you do?
Oh, I don't do ultimatums.
Right.
As soon as you give me an ultimatum, I'm already out the door.
Right.
Out the door. It's like one thing, one or two things that a female can say to me that will strictly trigger me, and it's the you're supposed to, and any other man would do it. those two phrases. This is what you're supposed to do, and any other man would do it are triggers for me.
Right. Not cool. I don't think that's cool at all. Because I feel like you wouldn't want to be given any ultimatums. So don't do it vice versa. You know what I mean? So I don't know. He seemed to be receptive to it, a
Right,
tag.
right. But
So
he
it'll be
still gave her a
interesting.
side eye. Like I don't know about. Like I would marry you, but I don't know if it's going to be by the end of the year. That's what happened. He gave her a side eye. Like
He did. He did. Like he was a little receptive, but it was some
right,
going on. Like, you know what I mean?
right.
So it'll be interesting to see, like, just throughout social media or something, like KJ pops the question, like, because
All
she damn sure going to show it.
right. All right. Last couple is Styles P from the Locks, rap superstar Styles P, and his wife. How do you say her name?
Ajwa.
Ajua.
Ajwa.
All right.
Yep.
What's going on with Styles and Ajua? Do we even
Don't-
know?
Do we even know?
Together 26 years. Happy moments, ups and downs, been rich and broke a lot of times. But the point of this is you don't gotta tear nobody down.
That's me.
If you feel like pulling me to the side, yo, go. Why you here?
And listen, they were like the OGs of the couples, okay? Like they got 25 plus years um and really it was difficult for me to like kind of dissect what their issues really were. Like they were on marriage boot camp,
Right.
which I had seen like previous episodes of that of just a tad bit. And besides like his infidelity years ago,
Right.
um from what we understand, like there was a lot of infidelity, back when they were younger that they made it through.
Right.
um and the death, of their daughter,
Right. That dude
who
committed suicide.
committed suicide. Like I didn't really know what their other issues were, and a lot of the other couples even said like, we don't know what none of y'all problems is. Y'all walk around like y'all perfect,
Right.
and giving advice to the younger couples. So I didn't really grasp like what their issues were, because if the infidelity happened so many years ago, you would think that they would have made it past that. So really, what are you
But
worried about?
you know how women are. They sometimes it's still sitting there. It's still every time you walk out that door, it's sitting right there.
Right, and it comes up.
Is that bitch outside the door when you walk out the door?
I don't know if you caught this, but it was one exercise they were doing where they were role reversing,
Right.
and they were playing each other, and they were like sitting behind each other in a chair.
I seen it, but I don't remember what the answer was when
Yeah. So the question AJ posed was, Ajwa, do you feel like Styles cheated on you more than once or something like that?
right.
And he had to answer as her, obviously. And he says, yes, but there was only one emotional relationship
Right.
out of all of them or something. And she was like, well, I would have said it. I would have said that. Yeah, I would have. Oh, they said, did he answer correctly? And she was like, I would have said it, but that all that extra stuff that he put.
Yeah, she said not all the extra. Not all.
I would have said all that other extra stuff, like, and you can feel that he made mention that it was a serious situation. You know what I mean? Not just him dipping out. It was obviously a serious situation, and she still got a little triggered by that. So you're right. Like it doesn't go away. It still kind of stays.
But were you like, how did it make you feel? Like, were you happy to see when the other couples were trying to call them out that they stuck together, like, and
Yeah.
they basically was like, fuck all of y'all, we in this shit together. Like,
Yeah.
it's
That's how
always
you're supposed to ride.
the world. It's always gonna be us against the world.
That's how you're supposed to ride. I think you should always ride like that with your significant other. Like it was good to see, although I was just like, well, damn, they snapped out real quick. And he's like, we would never give a fuck about what any of y'all think. I love Styles. Like he is such a real dude. But I do like how they stuck together. I just feel like they did not really like divulge much until towards the end. So I did see where the couples were, what they were saying about it, but they rode with each other.
All right, so before we wrap up, I got a couple little pointers here. So, if you had to pick one of the guys, who would you pick? This is for you. You gotta pick one of the guys. Who you gonna pick?
What? If I had to pick one of the guys, who would it be? I'm gonna have to say Styles.
Right.
I'm gonna have to say Styles because yeah, obviously some infidelities and things like that. And I mean, you may possibly deal with that with anyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he seemed to have the least of the bullshit with him,
Right.
like as far as things that I could tolerate.
Right.
So I would say Styles.
All right. If I had to pick one of the girls, I know I gotta pick Ryder. Like I have to pick Ryder.
Why did I know you was gonna say that?
I have to pick Ryder. I mean, not. I mean, it's Ryder. Like she's with the shits.
Right.
She has the A&A that I love, and A&A means attitude and appetite. So that means she's with the shits and she loves, to engage.
To engage.
So
Yeah.
I'd be Ryder, but a shocking point in the show was when Just Hilarious showed out.
And that lingerie.
Who knew that this was happening?
Yeah.
Under all that funniness.
Under all of that, who knew? Her body is banging.
Who knew? Shout out to you, Just Hilarious.
Yes, Just. You did that, mama.
Yes.
You did that. You even had Shimari on.
Right.
Okay. She was turning around telling Daniel, tear that up tonight, Dan.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, E. So what do you think was your favorite activity that they did as far as, the phones exchange or whatever? What the love language game that he played? What do you think was your favorite activity that they did?
Yeah, I do. I want to say like that whole sexy night, obviously for me was the most fun exercise that they had to do. One, it touched on the trust issue. You know what I mean? Like the exchanging of the phones. And I loved how Nick was just like, oh man, she told me she loved me. Like
Right.
it just was such I just thought that was like the coolest thing. Even for the guys that didn't exchange, it didn't mean that they weren't to be trusted, but I just thought it was cool for the ones who went ahead and exchanged the phones. And then of course the sexy lingerie stuff and the sexy text and all of that stuff, because outside of the problems, I think it's still important, to keep that fire lit for one another, So I think that was cool to see. How about you?
I'm gonna say the love language game. And what I want to say about the love language game is that these are little activities that you have to continuously do, to make sure you and your partner are on the same page, and make sure you always know what they like, what they don't like, what they need, and people forget that.
Right.
So even in your own personal, are you continuously, doing some of these activities and making sure you have these constant conversations so you can stay on the same page?
Yeah. I mean, I personally, yes. Like, you don't agree?
Yeah, I do agree.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, personally, yes. I just feel like you have to.
Right.
You just have to. It's just no other way to answer that, but you just have to. It's so important.
And what was the funniest moment for you throughout the season?
I think Shamari's fucking antics, like, just all of her shit. all of her
birthday,
shit.
the party.
The burping, the farting. Oh, we've been together 20 years. You done smell all of this. You know all of this. When she got shitted on by the bird, she had a conniption. Yeah, she had a conniption fit. Like, I just felt like all of her antics were hilarious. Yeah,
I'm all for. I'm all for. I want you to be comfortable. Farting and burping around me. All that's cool. But don't do what she was doing. She was going overboard.
yeah, like that's just out of control. Like sometimes you just gotta chill, and that was doing the most. So I think she kept some comedic effects going on that I enjoyed.
My favorite part was when the bird shitted on her though, and then
Yeah.
that's hilarious. These little jokes in the background were my
Mhm.
favorite shit because she was like that bird shitted on her because she needed to shut the fuck up.
Right.
I was like,
I love it. I love it.
so
I love
just and when she called Michael Blackson like a gorilla or thriller or some shit.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Or when she was talking about Rada jacket, she was like,
Right,
Rada, I know that's Michael jacket. It's like the Walmart or IKEA special or
right,
something. She said funny. So yeah,
right.
it's some good,
All the
good
jokes
stuff.
in the background were fucking
Yeah,
hilarious to me.
yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
So would you go on a show like this?
Yeah, I would. I would, because I am with the shits, like when it's all said and done. Like, and yeah.
The thing about it is, I would go on a show like this, but I also believe that most people won't make it out of these shows.
I know. I know, and that's the thing. So you gotta be ready for however the shit land. Like, you know what I mean? You just gotta be ready for it because you're right. Like it's and then not only the exposure of it all, but like, and being exposed and being open. But when it's all said and done and the shit airs, then you gotta deal with that shit after y'all finish taping too. So it's just like, is it if you withstand getting through the taping, then you gotta deal with the airing and getting through
I
all of
just
that.
think everybody ain't gonna be able to handle the honesty of it.
Right.
When you have to dig into those things and you have to be completely open and honest, I don't think everybody's gonna make it through that.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So
So this was our recap of Couples Retreat season 2. Each has to do her homework and see season 1 because Ray J was doing all kinds of fuckery.
oh man, I gotta go back and watch it then.
That's where Mendeecees told Yandy that if it was him, he don't know if he would have rolled for her if she was locked up. That happened on season 1.
Oh, so this is where this happened because I remember, of course, obviously, all the banter going on social media after that,
Right.
after the fact. Yeah, so I do got to go back and check it out and see what was going on.
Yeah, all of that happened on season 1. But I love this show. It's a great show for all those who, like relationship kind of shit or reality shows. This is not like the ratchet reality show. This is like a good reality show for
Yeah,
like just to see like I might be going through some shit, but they going through something.
pretty much. They gonna do some wild shit. Right. Right. Yeah, this is true.
This is a good show for if you're into that kind of shit. So
Yeah.
thank you, Ish.
Thank you and welcome.
Y'all will see us on Sunday for Uncensored Minds. Make sure
Yeah.
y'all share the video, leave y'all comments and thoughts. Who do y'all think was the best couple? Who do y'all think was the worst couple? If y'all seen the show, if y'all want to see it, it's on VH1. You can watch it on demand now, I guess. So it's called Couples Retreat, and it's hosted by AJ, and John Sally is like the wingman for John Sally is the wingman for all the NBA players, right? Ish?
Yeah, yeah, and he does a lot of the basketball wives stuff
Right.
too, right? Like the commentating and the reunions. He sits as like a mediator. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's a great show, people. Let us know y'all thoughts in the comments. Make sure y'all like and share the video. We have top fan memberships available. We have t-shirts, all that good stuff. Get at us. And any last words each?
No last words. We'll see you guys on Sunday.
Tell them. Raw Henry, tell them what you got on the website.
Yeah, got some goodies on the website, ladies. Check it out. I am actually getting ready to update some inventory with some fun new stuff, so that's coming soon. But we definitely got some good stuff. Check it out, rawhoneydrip.com. Any questions or concerns, you know, you can always hit me in the inbox. But, you know, other than that, we'll see you guys on Sunday. Uncensored Mind.
All right, people, we out of here.
All right. See ya.